Assalamu alaikum, conscious entrepreneurs. Happy 2024, peaceful 2024. Listen, the first thing we want to work on in 2024 is to liberate ourselves from the burden of overthinking. I know I do it, and I bet you do it also. Let's work together. Okay. The goal of this conversation tonight is to raise our awareness about overthinking so that we catch ourselves when we're doing it. And I also want to help you to become happier, healthier, wealthier, and experience more peace and love in 2024. So thank you for tuning in to the Sajda Wendy Muhammad YouTube channel. Enjoy the show. You're tuned in to the Mind of an Entrepreneur show with your host, myself, Sajda Wendy Muhammad. I am a multi-million-dollar business developer. I have developed business and real estate around the world, and I want to share with you my mental strategies, my technical strategies, and how I made it in the world of business. So I don't teach theory. I tell you about my life and introduce you to people who can also share with you what they've done to become successful. This is a practical show. This ain't a theory show. You don't want to miss it. So stay tuned.
O Allah, guide me among those whom Thou hast guided aright, and preserve me among those whom Thou hast preserved, and befriend me among those whom Thou hast befriended. Bless me in whatsoever Thou dost grant me, and deliver me from the evil of what Thou hast judged. Surely Thou judges, and none can judge against Thee. And he whom Thou befriendest is not disgraced. Blessed art Thou, O Lord, and exalted be Thee above what they set up besides Thee. I bear witness, nothing deserves to be served besides Thee. And I bear witness that Muhammad is Thy servant and apostle. Amen.
I have received so many pleasures, so many very good to look at, whether you own them or not. It's a pleasure just to look at such presents. Why, I have never witnessed so many presents. I think I have to build me a house for presents. This shows what Allah can do for you and me if we believe in Him.
There is nothing that we could not accomplish in the name of God. You know what your problem is? You don't have even a worthy goal to strive after. I'm going to give you an assignment today. Here's an assignment. Is there something you want? Do you want something? something that you want, but you have not been able to get it? Huh? Close your eyes. Do you see it? Whatever it is that you want, first envision it. You got the picture. Do you see it? All right, now the question is, you have to claim what you see. I claim this. I claim it. I believe with all my heart in the name of God that I'll bring what is in my imagination into reality. We're going to bring it back like it never was. I see in the dome the name Allah written in Arabic. But I can't just dream. I got to go to work. How do you bring it into concrete reality? First, without faith, you can't work the vision.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome to 2024. Welcome, and welcome to the Sajda Wendy Muhammad YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and hit that little notification bell so you get a notification when we go live. I am going to dig right in. We're going back to my old format for a few weeks here, okay? Where we're going to just get busy with the information. So I want you to get your pen, your notebook. I'm over here. I got a pen. I'm holding on to my crystal. Listen, let's do it. But we're going to get down and really get some of these functional tools. My goal is to really help you gain access to tools and strategies that will help you to become happier, healthier, wealthier, and experience more love. So happy, peaceful new year to each and every one of you. I'm wishing you all peace and love this year. Tonight, we are talking about overthinking. And I want to tie in a historical fact here, okay? And one of my goals, as you all know, is to take these beautiful life-giving teachings that we have been so blessed with and to give them a very practical slant and to really, most importantly, help us as entrepreneurs know how to use them to create a standard in our businesses and our business practices and our business operations. Okay. We're not about out here just aligning ourselves with the wicked. We're talking about bringing in a whole new economy, a whole new way of thinking, a whole new way of fairly doing business with people and properly handling one another. So welcome to everyone in the chat. Welcome, Sister Betty. I see you, Sister Betty. Welcome, and Happy New Year, sis. Welcome, Brother Victor. Wa alaikum salam, family. That's right. Let's do more in 2024. Sister Aletha, wa alaikum salam. Happy New Year. Sister Nubia Latifa, wa alaikum salam, and Happy New Year to the Sajda Winners Circle. That's exactly right. Sandra D, hey sis, wa alaikum salam. Happy New Year, family. All right, y'all. Let's dig in here. Let's review this. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was laughed at. I want you to think about this because let me set the stage. Many of us are in business and we're doing things and we know that other people don't quite get us. We know that people are looking at us like, I don't know if that's a good idea. You may have people in your family looking at you like, she'll look crazy, something wrong with him. You got things that you're doing that folks just don't quite get. And so you deal with overcoming the energy of that mockery and that doubt. And you have to be confident in yourself. And this is why learning history is so important. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was laughed at and mocked for preaching separation and telling us that we need to get up and do something for ourselves. The impact of his work was all but written out of history, leaving everything to be rebuilt from nothing. In 1975, almost immediately after his departure, the world lost much of the benefits of his teachings that would help to combat and prevent the same police brutality and viral pandemics that plague us today. And then in 1978, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stood up and began the rebuilding of the Nation of Islam and the work of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The mind of this great man serves as a foundation of consciousness that is seeing a resurgence today. And when you think about the tenacity and the mindset of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was also mocked for not only attempting and now being successful at rebuilding the Nation of Islam, but from just the overall effort itself, he lost a lot of friends. And a lot of people just didn't. Well, I can't say he lost a lot of friends. Let me say it this way. A lot of people walked away, okay? Because they thought he was charismatic and he was cool and he was attractive and he was fun. He looked like a great person. He's always been a phenomenal speaker. And so they were kind of looking at him more as an entertainer. And then when he started saying, well, listen, hold on a second. I'm going to rebuild the Nation of Islam. God is a man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is alive. He starts saying this stuff. People say, whoa, whoa. And so you and I, in our little businesses, your little financial services business you're trying to start, your little restaurant you're trying to start, that little clothing line you're trying to start, that business you're trying to get up off the ground, there are people who are looking at you and mocking you. But you got two great examples right here on how your mindset, if we study their mindset, we can figure out how to get past some of that mockery. The foundational principles that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught led to the development of an $80+ million empire built based on businesses that solve problems for a profit. He impacted the Black community and the world by introducing much needed goods and services and began the development of a global economy. He gave us a blueprint, a template. In Chicago alone, look at the contribution. In Chicago alone, the community he built annually contributed over $1 million in sales taxes alone. His dietary program included antiviral, disease prevention, and healthy food choices eaten at the appropriate time of the day that has supported the life of many followers well beyond 80+ years of age. The lifestyle he taught us is a refreshing approach to world problems that offer an alternative to the general ways of the world. This, in and of itself, uplifted, civilized way of living offers an alternative to the dependency upon wickedness that we see so prevalent today. So you have to remember, trust God. See, we're not afraid to talk about God in our businesses and around our businesses. And we respect God, and we hone the power of God to help us to create, to manifest, to invent, and go to that next level. Because we know the devil cannot create. He can only destroy. So if we follow these wicked ways, we're just taking on the lifestyle of a destroyer and not a creator. You see, healing and self-improvement are the fastest modes of manifestation. You know how they say the fastest modes of transportation? You got the plane, the train, and the automobile. Which one's the fastest? Usually it's the airplane, right? If you don't have all these airport delays. Well, healing and self-improvement is just like taking the plane. If you refuse to heal, then you have to find a system to participate in that will pay you and not require that you heal. I'm going to say that again. If we refuse to heal, then in order to make money for ourselves, we have to be dependent upon a system. We have to be dependent upon a system that will not require us to heal. Okay? Then we also may have to subject ourselves to some form of wickedness in order to get paid. It's real simple. So sometimes we don't want to do the work. We want to stay blind, deaf, and dumb. We just say, well, okay, I'm just going to go and help somebody else reach their goals and their dreams because I ain't really trying to do the work on healing. Well, if success doesn't come from within, then somebody has to give it to you. And if somebody's giving it to you, then they're going to want something else in exchange for it. See, most businesses just solving problems for a profit. And I challenge those of us who are conscious and who are entrepreneurs to find a problem and solve it. We are a faithful people. And if we can learn to use that tremendous faith as a conduit for creativity, we can do for ourselves and find solutions to most, if not all, of the problems that plague us. That, in my opinion, is how we're going to win. Don't settle for being regular. See, some of us give up on the healing process and just opt out to be regular. And we opt out for a shortcut, sell our soul, run scams, commit fraud. I want to talk today about overthinking and how to overcome the plague of overthinking that can create so much stress that we opt for one of these shortcuts. Okay, how y'all doing over here in the chat? All right, I see y'all. Y'all must be thinking. We're going to keep going. All right. Sometimes we just love to overthink. Sometimes we love to overtalk. We love to just mull over unnecessary details because we're just addicted to the energy of what we don't want. Let me say that again. We're so accustomed to being attacked. We're so accustomed to people hurting us. We're so accustomed to not getting what we want that we'd rather talk about the haters than talk about our blessings. We love to overtalk and overthink because we're so used to not getting what we want that we literally gravitate towards the very behavior that is blocking our blessings. Many of us come out of corporate America. I know I did. And we come out of corporate roles where spirituality was taboo. And if it wasn't taboo in a obvious kind of way, we just kind of knew, I kind of better fit in order to make it, right? And especially in non-creative roles. Sometimes in creative roles, like if you're in marketing, advertising, in arts, they may allow for a little bit more of you to be more authentic. But in those hardcore corporate roles where we used to have to wear the blue suits and the white shirts, or even now where it's just so strictly corporate, many of us really have had to do what I call spiritual code switching. And I'm going to give you an example. This is not like, I'm not making fun of anybody, but it's like if you're a Jehovah's Witness, but you all up in the company party with the Christmas lights around your neck. And the whole time you're saying to yourself, I don't even believe in Christmas. I don't believe in Christmas. You just keep on saying that to yourself because you think that's going to make a difference, but you may as well believe because you look like you do. You vibrating like you do. You're not vibrating in tune with your belief system. You abandoned it. Because of your deviation and your behavioral deviation, you abandon the vibration. So I don't care how much you say in your mind that you're aligned. If your behavior says something else, you're going to get the results of your behavior, not the results of your mind. And then others of us have just decided that we don't want anything to do with religion or spirituality because we're pursuing business. So some people just go, you know what, it's business. It ain't whatever. It ain't business. It ain't personal. And all these things that we say, which really a lot of times is not true. But as conscious entrepreneurs, we're tapping into a power that is an accelerant. So that's what a lot of these mental strategies and taking these teachings and this way of life and overlaying them into our business is to help us have an accelerant. You'll find out real quick in life that if you don't have an accelerant, you're just going to be a regular. I call it regular degular. You know, like if you're lighting a fire, you know, in the barbecue pit and you just put wood in there, you can just put the wood on there and heat and light it and it'll be small and wait till it smolders and gets hot enough for you to put your meat on. Or you can add some lighter fluid and get that thing hot real fast. That's an accelerant. So, like I mentioned, the first thing we want to make sure that we work on in 2024 is to liberate us from the burden of overthinking. Let me know in the chat. Say yes or no if you got a challenge with overthinking. I know I do. I'm a Virgo. So Virgos, we overanalyze and overthink everything. And so that becomes something we got to dial back on. So not only that, I'm a Virgo, an analytical person, and overthinking, and then I'm an empath. So just imagine. So this is a real serious exercise for me that I have to revisit often. And remember, the goal of this conversation, we want to raise our awareness, okay, about overthinking. It's not going to cure you overnight, but we want to raise your awareness so you catch yourself when you're doing it. And then ultimately, we want to increase our productivity. We want to better align ourselves with our authentic self. And then we want to experience more of God's peace. So some of y'all saying in the chat, yes, indeed. Yes, yes, yes. The overthinking. All right. So what is overthinking? Let's start there. Okay. Overthinking is when your thoughts and worries circle in an endless loop. Instead of preparing for your next steps, overthinking usually leads to inaction because it causes you to become overwhelmed by fear. You're like the news. You know how the news now that you got these news channels, they just keep recycling the same old subjects over and over again? Do you know that many of us look at that and we mimic that pattern in our brain? And we're just constantly, we got a loop, like a replay we're playing over and over and over in our head. It's no coincidence that when it comes to things that are supposed to be big and important, we see that, like the news, that we also do that when we think we're working out something big and important. Interesting, right? So overthinking can be an early indicator of a symptom of depression, anxiety, and other mental conditions. So oftentimes, when we are constantly feeding on these news programs and these things on television and on our electronic devices that just keep repeating over and over and over and over, we almost hypnotize ourselves into that way of thinking, and we wonder why we don't feel productive. We wonder why we're not as productive as we really want to be. Why are we a little depressed? Why are we having a little anxiety? And some people can even go into full-blown mental health conditions. All right. So in case you don't think you're overthinking, what are the signs that you're overthinking? Let's go over those. First of all, you may have an inability to think about anything else. Like you just got this loop playing in your head. And even when you're not trying to, it just keeps playing over and over and over. Okay. Sometimes you're unable to relax. Like you may think you're relaxing, but you really don't because you're just thinking about this thing over and over again. You're constantly feeling worried or anxious. You're fixated on things outside of your control. You feel mentally exhausted. You feel like you just don't understand anything that's going on. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me put my phone on silent here. I should have did that. All right. You have a lot of negative thoughts. You replay a situation or experience in your mind over and over again, causes you to second guess your thoughts. You start thinking about all the worst case scenarios. Let me know in the chat if that sounds familiar. What are some of the causes? Why do we overthink? I talked about us mimicking the information pattern that we see on our televisions and electronic devices. Okay. Another thing that causes us to overthink is many of us are not solution oriented. We're just not. We're so used to somebody else solving our problem, and you'll hear it in our language. Well, they should, and why don't they? And I don't understand why they. It's because we're not solution oriented or thinking about doing for self and finding a solution for ourselves. We're thinking about something else. So look at it this way. Imagine there's a storm coming. And I'm going to give you an example. If you're an overthinker, you just be saying stuff like, I wish the storm didn't come. It's going to be awful. Oh Lord, I hope the house don't get damaged. Why do these things always happen to me? I just can't handle this. I just don't understand it. That's overthinking. But if you're in problem solving mode, one, you give it to God. You say, God, I know you got this. And you say, well, if it does happen, I'll go outside and I'll pick up everything that might blow across the yard. I'll put sandbags against the garage to prevent from flooding. If we get a lot of rain, I'll go to the store. I'll buy some plywood. I'll board up the windows. Start thinking about what you can do, right? When you experience those repetitive thoughts, sometimes your brain just won't shut off. And making those decisions are a struggle. We talked a little bit earlier about what are the effects of overthinking. And this is why overthinking is dangerous, because it really does lead to depression, anxiety disorders, OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder, panic disorders, post-traumatic stress disorders, social anxiety disorders, you name it. And as a business person, we cannot afford decreased productivity associated with overthinking. Our goal is to be problem solvers. We're to be inventors and to help elevate our families and communities and ultimately our nation. Now, everybody's not a business person. Some people are workers. Some people are staff people, and that's okay. I'm specifically talking to those of us who are business people, who are leaders in business, inventors and problem solvers, and who are interested in introducing much needed goods and services into our community. I want to help us get off the hamster wheel. Really want to help us get off the hamster wheel. Now, we're going to go through some spiritual tools. This is where I want you to start writing this down. How do we stop overthinking? How do we do it? What do you think the number one way that we can stop overthinking? Anybody? Let me know in the chat. What's the number one way? I see y'all over here. Angelita, Sandra D, Betty, Nika, Sister Dawn. What's the number one way you can stop overthinking? All right, let me help y'all out. Trust God above all and embrace his grace. Let's say that again. Type this in the chat. Trust God above all and embrace his grace. Now we're gonna get a little religious because we're going with some Bible verses and some Holy Quran verse, some verses from the Holy Quran, but stay with me because this is going to really help us with this overthinking. What's the number one way? What's the number one spiritual tool to help us stop overthinking is we have to remember to trust God above all else. This cuts the chain of overthinking. Where am I going? Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. I have this prayer that I say to myself, this desire that I say, I cannot thank God enough. I can't recognize him enough. I can't trust him enough. So I just want every breath I take to be a prayer of gratitude, leaning into him, trusting him with every breath, trusting that he'll direct me on the right path. And in the Holy Quran, the guidance from Surah 11, verse 123 says, and Allah's is the unseen of the heavens and the earth, and to him the whole affair will be returned. So serve him and put thy trust in him, and thy Lord is not heedless of what you do. God, listen, y'all, God invites us to give our worries and anxieties over to him. Find rest in his promises. You don't even know enough to worry. Something can always happen that you know nothing about. I find that out every day. God shows me signs of himself every day. I have stuff that comes at me, it seems like constantly, all day, every day. The bigger my goals are, the more stuff flies at me. And I realize I don't know enough to be worried because something always happens that I know nothing about. And it works in my favor. God has a way of weaving our mistakes and our shortcomings and folding them right up into our blessings. He uses, I'm going to say it again, he uses those mistakes and those shortcomings and folds them right up into our blessings. He already knows it. He'll use those mistakes and shortcomings as a way to help us get to the next level. He's already factored in the fact that you and I are not perfect as his grace. How many times have you been blessed, even when you know that you were wrong and you really, really didn't deserve it? Let me know in the chat if you had that experience. Number 2, here's a second spiritual tool. Be present. Live in the moment. Make the most of the moment. Learn from the past and write the future by being mindful of how you are living right now. How many times did you pray today? How many times did you meditate today? How many times did you get off a call in between your call and center yourself and just be present? How many times? Here's the third spiritual tool. Make sure that you have a stillness practice. I know we come from different religions and backgrounds. Most of us here are probably Muslims. Have a stillness practice. See, because prayer and meditation are critical when it comes to resetting and pouring out yourself to Allah. A lot of us work jobs and we can't break away and go break out our prayer rug. We don't have a space to do it. So you got to learn how to go within yourself right there within that space at that allotted time. I put alerts on my phone when it's time for prayer. And whatever I'm doing, if I'm in between calls, even if I'm on a call that has run over, I may turn my camera off for a second, or I might just sit there while they're talking and acknowledge Allah. See, Surah 32, Al-Sajda, or the adoration of the Holy Quran, verse 15 says this: only they believe in our messages who, when they are reminded of them, fall down prostrate and celebrate the praise of their Lord, and they are not proud. Don't be too proud to pray. Don't be so addicted to overthinking that you don't stop to pray. Number 4, this is for conscious entrepreneurs. See, because as we're building these empires and building these businesses, we want to have a spiritual practice that we fall back on, that we lean on, that's a part of us. Whatever wording works for you, but that living word should be your guide. That's number 4. Use the living word as your guide. The Holy Quran is the book of guidance for the Muslims. The Bible is the book of guidance for the Christians. Root yourself in your spiritual practice, whatever it is. Root yourself in it. I remember when Brother Bedford was doing the interviews with Black millionaires, and all of them were deeply spiritual and had a deep spiritual practice that was woven into what it is that they did for a living. Here's number 5, the 5th tool. Understand the role of God in your endeavors. It's so easy for us to think that we doing all this. This is our mission. We all of that. We don't need God. We so successful. We get a little bit of success and then we forget all about God. You got to expand beyond your intellectual capacity. And the only way you can get beyond you is you got to reach for something that's beyond you. You got to reach for someone that's beyond you. You got to search for your purpose in life, your authentic self. What did you show up on the planet to do? Type that in the chat. What did you show up on the planet to do? How are you going to know that unless you talk to the one who put you on the planet? What is God saying to the world as he decided to express himself as you? Your move should serve a purpose bigger than yourself. So as we're building our businesses, as we're moving in our community and inventing and developing and introducing those much needed goods and services and developing our Muslim economy, we have to understand the role that God plays in our endeavors. And number 6, use gratitude as your shield. The Holy Quran gives guidance on this in Surah 14, verse 7. And it says, and when your Lord is known, if you are grateful, I will give you more. And if you are ungrateful, my chastisement is truly severe. And the Bible says it like this: give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. That's from 1 Thessalonians 5:18. So I want us to walk into 2024 liberated from the perils of overthinking, because we got a lot of work to do. This is the year of truth. It's the year of truth. Get off the hamster wheel. Stop telling the same old stories over and over again. Use your history to learn from it. But I want you to not worry from it. Stop worrying unnecessarily. Okay? So that's going to help us. You guys can go back and listen to this. These are our steps to stop us from worrying. Before I tell you about the series that we have coming up, let me acknowledge some of you all in the chat. Hey there, Marvelous Marva. Assalamu alaikum. I haven't seen you in forever. Welcome, welcome. Happy New Year. Sister Betty, I see you with the hand. That's right. Take action. Sister Angelita Muhammad, take action. Yes, yes. Which one is your favorite scripture, Sister Betty? I don't remember which one. I should have looked at it. Is it trust God? Sister Dawn saying that too. Trust God above all and embrace his grace. That's right. That is exactly right. Sister Necky's Universe says Trey and trust God. Brother Victor says prayer. All right. I see y'all on here. I appreciate you all for participating. Let me tell you about the new series that I'm working on. Okay. Proverbs. Okay. We're going to begin a new series. It's going to be entitled Building Our Economy. And there's 6 episodes in the series. And the principles that I'm going to share can be used whether you're building an economy around your business, around your community, your nation, your personal economy. We're going to talk about the 6 steps of building an economy. Okay. And it's something that we can use. So get prepared, bring your notebook. You can call it a class, come to class. We're going to work on this stuff together. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to walk into 2024 without overthinking. We're going to do a better job at trusting God. We're going to do a better job at being grateful. We're going to do a better job at being authentic. We're going to be doing a better job at practicing stillness. Just a better job of listening for that guidance, right? And walking into those blessings instead of trying to beat our way through with our intellect. It's interesting, right? Because I think it's an insecurity that we have as a people, because we grew up and we look at modern society, white society, whatever you want to call it. And we always feel inferior. We always feel like there's something that we don't know. So what we end up doing is we end up weaponizing our intelligence. Does that make sense to you all? Type that in the chat for me. Weaponizing our intelligence. We weaponize our intelligence because we try to just intellectualize our way into everything. But you really cannot intellectualize your way into greatness. You can intellectualize your way into hacking your mind to trust in God and being more aware and more keen and more focused on his blessings. But you can't intellectualize your way into everything. If you keep doing that, you really can't get anywhere beyond your intellectual capacity. And that's why you're on a hamster wheel. That's why you're trying to make more money. You're trying to build a business. You're trying to do more. You're trying to scale. You're trying to expand. You're trying to sell, but you can't do it because you're too busy intellectualizing it. Think about it this way. If you knew better, you'd have been done better. If you knew better, you'd do better. So we're going to work on that for 2024, and we'll come back with different reminders on how we can get ourselves through this and get ourselves together on this. All right, y'all. Any questions? We got through that, and I know I flew through them because I wanted to make sure that you all had them. Make sure you support the platform. I did not. I'll tell you, I got some funny calls because some people that I worked with in my emotional intelligence certifications and things like that send me like little funny teasing messages for New Year's saying, "What you doing, girl, this year? You doing stuff for free?" And I said, well, yeah, I'm always doing stuff for free, but I'm also offering to serve and support my people. So I am going to open up my coaching and consulting schedule. If you have businesses that you want me to assist you with, that you want me to help you with, if you just want coaching to help get past your blind spots, just so that you start off 2024 with just a spiritual plan as you approach your businesses, you can do that as well. The link is in the bio, and you can book me for a session. The special is over. The buy one, get one free is over, because we're going to really, really dig into the work. And I pray, I won't say I guarantee, because that's not good business, but I'm certain that there will be a difference in your life and in your approach. And if you enjoy the platform, if you like this work, make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you support the platform. Cash App is there on the screen. Support the Black Muslim businesses. And DJST said, yes, always on time, was getting kind of flustered. Yeah. It's easy to get flustered. That's okay. But we're going to work through this. We're going to work through this together for 2024 so that we're not frustrated. Some of us have businesses that have been at the same level for the last 4 or 5 years. Some of us have stuff that we've been doing for 10, 15 years, and it hasn't gotten any better, and it hasn't grown any. That means there's a blockage. There's a blind spot. There's something that's happening to you that you don't see, and you need a coach. You need a consultant. You need somebody to help get you through. Some of y'all been trying to open businesses for 4 or 5 years, and you still ain't did it. Why? Because you need a coach. You need a consult. You need somebody to push you over the edge. And I'm not a coach without receipts. You can look on my LinkedIn and see my receipts. If you want to email me, I have no problem sending you my portfolio as well. So I'm not coming to you as somebody who's fake, who just gonna motivate you and then it's gonna go away after a month. It's gonna really, inshallah, be some tangible tools that can really help you get to that next level. So, all right, so tune in Saturday for Sajda Saturday Morning Coffee Talk. We're gonna continue this conversation on overthinking. And I want you to bring your questions. Bring your scenarios, bring your questions, anything you want to talk about. If you want me to talk you through something, Saturday will be a way for you to kind of get your own one-on-one session with me. If you want to come on in and bring your questions and your comments and anything that you may want to walk through, talk through, or work through. Okay, that's what we're going to do Saturday. And then starting next Thursday, we're going to start on the new series, Building Our Own Economy. Okay, and it's a 6-part series. So, all right, family, with that, do something good for somebody today. Listen, I'm not playing with nothing but high vibrations in 2024. Don't bring me no low vibration, nothing. Even if it's something that happened, I'm just praying for peace. I'm praying for love. So even in the midst of anything that could be going down, we're going to be looking for peace and love. That's what we're looking for in 2024. So, all right, you all, thank you. Thank you for joining. Make sure you like and subscribe, support the channel. And inshallah, we will see you all on Saturday. And I'm going to work on and work out my schedule of doing more lives. I ain't giving y'all time yet because I don't know, but I'm going to try to add another extra day. I just got to figure it out and figure out what makes most sense. If you all tell me you're going to participate, then I'm happy to jump on. All right. Peace and blessings.
You belong to yourself. You're an independent people, created from the nation of free people. Yes, sir. You don't need to go nowhere but to yourself. Yes, sir. There will be a great separation. Yes, sir. So I said, it is on now.
The college is meant to prepare you for your future. That the time dictates that if we don't do something for ourselves as a people, we will be destroyed. And the aim of the enemy right now is to take us out.
We have God with us. We have Him as our guide. Yes, sir. We don't have to stand around here and ask the question, what must be done? Yes, sir. Get up and let's go and do something. Yes, sir. We cannot sit down. We cannot lay down. Yes, sir. We must get up. Yes, sir. And go to work.
Do you know what real joy is in life? Visioning something and bringing it into reality. That's real joy. Do you know what the next step in joy is? Behold how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell in unity.
Tonight, you need to fasten your seatbelts. We're going to hear from some of the greatest minds in the world. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of trusting our future and the future of our children into the hands of those who don't love us. I believe we need to revitalize black leadership.